But they seem to really love you. Can't you change their minds? Yeah, but they keep putting me on a pedestal like I'm some kind of god or holy leader, but I'm not. I never wanted to be. You know why? Because people always put words in their god's mouth, twist them around to suit their needs, even if he's saying something completely different. While Randall was talking, his fingers had wandered to a pen lying between us on the cushions. He plucked it up, beginning to idly scribble on the back of his hand, while a twisted figure slowly formed across his knuckles. I just wanted to help them. That's the whole reason why people start coming to me in the first place. The poor, the weak, the outcast, I've been there. I know what it's like to feel worthless. So when it came to LA and ranted at vampire haunts about the status quo and why we needed change, people listened. A whisper smile flickered on his lips, as faint as a candle in the wind. For a while, everything seemed like it was getting better. They stopped living for others and started living their own lives because I helped them understand it was alright. And then, at some point, they started to forget what freedom really meant. They wanted everyone else outside my clan to see things the same way. Anyone who didn't was an enemy, someone who was hurting us even if they never meant to. That's why they think shards should die. Closing his eyes, Randall let go of the pen and sunk back against the couch, his face tilted up to the ceiling. Without his chest moving to breathe, he looks as still and lifeless as a corpse. But after a moment, his eyelids flickered open, and he glanced back towards me. Don't you see any way out of all this? Anarchy just doesn't work. Someone needs to keep control. Why? To make sure we don't all kill each other or start tearing necks on Chimera? I don't know, kid. Later on, it's always bad by nature, but being a leader can turn someone bad real easily. He threw up, his eyes flicking down to the black lines on his hand for a moment. Oh shit, I'm sorry, Midori. I didn't mean to start rambling about society, but it's your own damn fault for being a good listener. Maybe I should become a vampire sociologist. Sure, I bet you'd be good at it. You seem like a smart girl, I mean obviously because you're hanging out with me. This time he offered one of his low, thunderous laughs, the genuine kind that came from deep in his chest. Soon though, his grin shifted to a more thoughtful look. As he studied my face, he seemed to hesitate for a few seconds, scratching at the side of his cheek. But just as he opened his mouth again to speak, "Hey Randall!" At that moment, the front door suddenly burst up. "We're going for another short ride by the pier. You ready?" Marla called out eagerly, beaming at Randall. "Yeah, I'll be right there." "Sweet, come meet us in the bike." The door slammed shut behind her, and a few holes echoed faintly from outside. Wasn't really feeling it tonight, but I guess I better go keep an eye on them. With a loud groan, Randall slowly pushed himself to his feet, running his tongue across his fangs. Then he offered a hand down to me, his bandaged palm reaching forward. With his powerful grip, he clasped my hands and easily tucked me up to my feet. Well, I don't want to seem like I'm kicking you out again or anything, but maybe kinda gently nudging you out since the sun will be rising soon and all. But hey, I'm gonna call you up again in a few days, okay? This whole mental thing or whatever, I'm starting to take it pretty seriously. So I gotta find another learning experience for you. Well, you've done a great job so far. And you're being sarcastic? No. Me, never. We walk out beneath the night sky together, where a plane was distantly droning by overhead. From behind the house, I heard the sound of laughter and raving engines. Randall's group was waiting for him, no doubt. Get home safely, Midori. As Randall and I stepped off the porch, he turned to offer me a small, unusually gentle smile. Oh, and give Queen Bitch my regards, okay? I'm sure she'll be just delighted. Good night, Randall. Midori. He slowly waved at me until I was out of sight. But as I left the moonlit beach behind, heading back into the glittering city lights, I couldn't shake the feeling that I had glimpsed something different in Randall. I couldn't put a name to it yet, but as I followed deeper into the marble chaotic world, waters would start rising to the surface. My eyes fluttered open. I felt like I've been having an intense dream, but as soon as I tried to remember it, the image faded away. But more importantly, there was a gnawing, awful ache in my gut. Hunger pangs had woken me up again, apparently. Charles was probably expecting a report on Alicia today, so I need to pay the club a visit. But I had to feed first, even as a vampire breakfast was obviously still the most important meal of the day. Drawing from David. I knocked on the adjoining door between my room and David's, unlocking my side. Within moments, I heard a muffle coming and some voice hasty shuffling. I'm here, mistress. Within moments, David eagerly presented himself in my room, trembling with excitement. Hello, David. Are you ready? Yes, I've been waiting for so long. As soon as I sang my fancy to him again, his sweet blood started to soothe my hunger. Like before, he seemed to enjoy it even more than I did. But this time I controlled myself so he didn't end up unconscious, only pleasantly dazed. After I had drank my fill, I took David back to his room to rest. It really was convenient having him here, and he seemed to love our new arrangement. Yep, I don't have to worry about not getting enough blood anymore. Full of fresh energy, I emerged into the cold night air. Charles' car wasn't around, so I had to hail a taxi to take me to the club. The abattoir looked just like it had during my last visit, only less crowded. Plenty of people still slither around, grinding on each other and making out in dark corners, but it looked like I was too early for peak hours. Still, setting foot back here brought back a torrent of memories from that night. I came here without a clue that I'd soon be stepping into another world. Yet now, instead of being overwhelmed by all the human and inhuman predators hiding in plain sight, it almost felt like I was becoming one of them. Hey there, darling. A tap at my shoulder followed the sultry voice in my ear, jolting me out of my thoughts. Ooh, I turned to see a woman confidently smirking up at me, her head tilted coyly to one side. Oh, sorry if I startled you. A bit hard to get people's attention over the music though. Pleasures to meet you, beautiful. Ah, charming, I see. Real fake compliments are always nice to hear. Pleasure's all mine. It's not every day someone sweet and good looking walks in here. The girl figured out her response like a machine gun spray, speaking so fast I could barely keep track of what she had said. She wasn't overly energetic. In fact, her posture reminded me of a languid cat, but it was as if her thoughts flowed directly to her mouth, coming out in a constant stream. Anyway, I know what you are. I've met enough vampires to pick them out in the crowd right now. Oh really, what makes you think of vampire? She raised her hand to her mouth, stifling a little snicker. There's no need to play cold, darling. I was a favorite pet of one until recently, and she taught me how to keep a secret. Oh, that's right, introductions. No one knows you will. Looking at me all confused, I'm Alicia, one of the managers of this little playpen. And you are? I'm Midori, but you can call me whatever your heart desires. And anything my heart desires to say. I have to think up something special just for you then. Midori, I'm just tickled to meet you, Midori. And I really want to get you know better, but first could you do me a little favor? What kind of favor? You see, there was this mother hanging around the bar, sweet boy most of the time, but tonight's making a bit of fuss. He and his group are well provoking some other vampires, trying to argue with them, stirring up house rivalry. I'm all about free speech, but my club is supposed to be neutral ground, you see, so it's not the type of thing I want going on. Could you be a then intervene before anything nasty happens? I'm sure I'll do my best. I'm sure your best is plenty, darling. Good luck. With a cheerful grin, Alusha gently shooed me towards the bar, pointing to a gathering of figures by the edge. There were quite a few of them, so fighting probably wasn't the smartest idea. I approached a little cautiously, trying to overhear what they were talking about. How can you even go along with that? Don't you see that he's controlling you? You might be afraid to talk about your leader, but I'm not. One of the mother growled out accusingly, his eyes full of passionate anger. He looked vaguely familiar. I must have seen him at the beach house with Randall. Unlike plenty of Golgotha, but if you support that kind of guy, you need to take another look at yourself. You know what I'm saying is true, don't you? Some of the others at the bar averted their gaze, obviously not wanting to be pulled into the conflict. And you Iscariot, you know Charis is no different. Turning new vampires just to have more soldier for her cause is fucking disgusting. Nick is right, it really is disgusting. Yet Randall, he would never do something like that. Mutters of agreement rose from the group behind the man. Oh. The bartender spoke up hesitantly, but the mother, whose name was Nick, by the sound of it, kept going. And now that she's showing her true colors, you still won't join us? It's not even politics, it's about doing what is right. When our eyes met, Nick paused, doing a double take at me. Oh damn, aren't you the new girl, the one who just got turned? Actually, I have a name, it's Midori. Yeah, I already know your name, I mean, how could I not? As Nick focused set on me, I noticed with other looks thrown my way. Surprised, curious, wary. Like they were busy deciding whose side I was on. Hey, your mother too, you heard what I said back there. I've been trying to get any of these Iscariot girls to stand up for themselves. You know, tell me why they should stand for their shit. You know, tell me why I should stand for the shit leaders. What? What is this sentence they want to pull on us? Laws about whoever we can act like vampires are not killing people who step out of line, forcing everyone to keep their mouths shut. Sometimes it feels like Marvel is the only vampires we care about our freedom. I think we all care. People just have different ideas of freedom. Yeah, that's right, but actions speak louder than words. If we don't stand up for our beliefs now, what happens when sharks keep putting more and more rules on us? When we can't even speak our minds anymore? He let out a passionate sigh, ruffling the back of his shaggy hair. I'm not here to stop trouble just for the hell of it, but sometimes you've got to push the situation to get any results. This is a coven. Or like an organism. Everything affects everything else. And you're a part of it now, you understand that, right? I'll take a stand for my beliefs when I think it's the right time. You will, huh? Well, that makes me feel better. At least I know you can stand up for yourself and you didn't get brainwashed by Shari's. I know I'm wasting my non-existent breath on the Iscariot and the goals here, but you seem smart enough not to buy the bullshit. We're about to head back to the beach. Anyway, I think you should come by there sometime. Less of her cronies running around. Alright, come on guys, let's get out of here. As Nick offer, I noticed the Iscariot and Golgotha giving a long, disapproving looks. But the mother flashed me warm grins on their way out, feel them patting my shoulder as they passed by. Leaving the bar behind, I wandered back through the dance floor searching for Alusha. Soon I spotted her standing by the wall, chatting with men in something very close to a gimsi. She quickly waved him off as I moved closer, welcoming me with a bright smile. Seems like your diplomacy did the trick, darling. Very nice. Now that you have taken care of that nasty business, why don't you tell me what you really came here to say? I'm all ears. She leaned close enough to comfortably talk without wafting over the music in a car, a whiff of rosy perfume. Charles Locke wants you to report the club happenings to her. I came to negotiate an information deal. A deal? Whose deal? Just what kind of information? This sounds a bit ominous. Charles wants to know about the vampire meetings and fights here. Charles. Alright. My mistress always called her queen bitch like Randall seems so fond of doing. So Locke wants to know what happens around the club. Is that it? It's true, a lot of your folks come in here, usually looking for a quick bite. She has good timing. A week ago, I would have been able to say, yes, my mistress. Jackie, she hated Locke. Thought she was the devil in a dress. But then she disappeared. I haven't seen her since, so I assume she's dead. No, need to shed any tears for me. I didn't much like her anyway, but she did leave me in a tight spot. Alusha had to pause for pride, so I took the right opportunity to say something. You're in a tight spot, why? Oh, I'm so glad you asked. Alusha winked coyly at me, twirling one strand of hair around a finger. Well, the truth is that the delightful feeling of being fed up on can easily start to get a little addictive. In fact, the only reason I stuck around my mistress for so long was because I needed my fix, so to speak. It's been quite awful without it. You have no idea. So I need someone to take a bit of blood from me now and then, no string attached, just a win-win for a giver and taker. It didn't take a genius to see what she was getting at. I could send someone over to help you. How thoughtful, you wouldn't mind, I promise you. I have a friend forever in this girl. Alusha doesn't forget cuties who help her out. It'll be taken care of. Thank you so much, darling. Anytime you need something, you know who to call. Oh, and could you make sure they kill the vampire who gets sent over? Will really be the cherry on top. She beamed at me in delight, clearly thrilled by the new arrangement. Before I forget about the deal, Hollywood Heights Hotel is her headquarters, right? I'll give it a call tonight, see about setting up that little agreement. For now, I need to be getting back to work, I'm afraid. Come back as soon as you can. Thanks again for everything. You've got a real pluckiness to you. I bet you're going to go far one day. I'm going somewhere, that's for sure. Alusha blew a kiss at me before turning around, sauntering back towards the mouth of free bar. And with that, my job was finished. That was a rather simple job, I have to say. After worming my way past a few unwanted admirers, I managed to slip out of the club. There was still plenty of time before sunrise. I could visit a few places tonight if I could just find a taxi to flag down the main streets. Were already flocking with people. I turned the corner to a more quiet road, about to hail an oncoming cab. On my sense suddenly prickled. Someone was watching me. I quickly glanced from left to right, trying to make out any shape in the shadows. Yet, even with my sharpened eyes, I saw nothing. Maybe it was just my imagination. Do excuse me, but may I have a moment of your time? A figure emerged from the alley behind me, tipping his head in greeting. There was no mistaking that head and delighted smirk. He had to be the same Golgotha from the parking garage. Who are you? Oh, but before that, let me tell you your name. I am Zhang. No doubt you remember me from that unpleasant little scene with the mother. It must have left an awful first impressions. Frowning, Zhang clicked his tongue and ruefully shook his head. The gesture looked much too overstated to be serious. Well, I'm simply dropping by to deliver a small message, courtesy of my master. Very convenient that I should find you here. Who is your master? Now, I don't think you ought to conclude that for yourself, my dear mother. You see, my master wishes to extend an invitation. He wants to meet the latest vampire writing a type rumors around Hollywood. Why does he want to meet me exactly? To formally make your acquaintance, of course. There's a bit of unsavory gossip floating around about him. No doubt you've already heard something. I would like you to judge his character for yourself. Zhang glared at me silently for a moment, rocking back and forth on his toes. After words spread out about your partnership with Miss Locke, your disruption of our meeting with the Mava, your association with the various powerful vampires. What rare season no vitiate was such an exciting start? It was only a matter of time before you attracted attention. Especially my masters. He stressed the first word pointedly, holding the second syllable long enough for his fangs to stick out and shine. Okay, I'll buy it. Where's staying at? This meeting's sounding more and more. I would really like to meet this mysterious master of yours. Oh, splendid. Whenever you're ready to meet him, just wander towards Holyfield Cemetery and head for the mausoleum. Oh, and please don't bring any guests. I see, he lives in the mausoleum. Yes, well, something along those lines. Zhang shrugged nonchalantly, glancing to the side. My master just enjoyed the charming requiescence that the cemetery provides, you see. Oh, and it also has a delightful view. With another large chuckle, the man offered me a small bow, adjusting his tie with one hand. Please do consider his invitation. I have no doubt you will appreciate it. Now have a fantastic night, Victoria. Thanks, same to you. He bowed again, this time more deeply, before slipping back towards the alley. His presence seemed to fade away almost instantly, maybe some kind of trick or something more sinister. Only time will tell, or maybe nothing but. After Zhang left, I managed to hail a cab, quickly hopping inside. I decided to travel somewhere. Let's go to the Blood and Rose. Let's visit Marcus. We haven't done anything. I decided to stop by Blood and Rose to check if Marcus was around. He probably has some interesting insights to offer, as usual. Okay, look at this place. I found Marcus in front of the large floor of mannequin, shuffling his feet in some kind of strange movement. When I stepped closer, he came to a stop, swiveling around to face me. Ah, Midori. It seems you caught me practicing the salsa with my partner. My evening exercise. Oh, I didn't know you were a dancer. That maybe a slight exaggeration, but I do enjoy it. Well, fuck it. I fuck it up. Well, is there anything I can do for your sister? I press it too quick. I skip the words. My ears are at your disposal. I have questions about you. So, why do you wear those sunglasses? They're to make people feel smart when they so cleverly pick up on the irony. After all, a simple fashion statement would just be too incongruous with my elusive nature. Next question. Are you allied with any of the leaders? Have you already forgotten my advice, sister? A smart man doesn't hitch a ride. Will break down, but the will to keep walking, never. I thought it was hard to be completely neutral here. Oh, it is indeed, but I am no mere bystander. I'm no mere bystander. Marcus clicked his tongue, quirking a brow at me. The truth of the matter is, I contribute to every side, and I assist none. Like all supposedly philanthropic causes, they hold no meaning for me. Once upon a time, I pretend to care as most people do, but no longer. His gaze drifted oddly away, as if the subject had somehow lost its interest. What made you decide to run a sex shop? My reasoning is rather simple. The more asserted and visceral something is, the more society and its morals rival is as taboo. The more it fascinates the repressed masses. Turn on the TV or read the news and see for yourself. Rock and roll, Kennedy assassination tape, the Manson murders, Dracula, Kurt Cobain, The, the crucifixion, most famously, he gestured towards the television screen above the counter, his picture suddenly buzzing with static. Nothing is more tantalizing than the natural instincts we are made to feel guilty for sex, violence, power. Myself, I find sexuality to be the most interesting and easily exploitable of mankind's desires. And so I've set up my charming little shop, which serves the dual purpose of providing modest income while also constructing a psychological exhibit for me to study. It's also quite amusing to force silly littles into visiting me here. Nobody can actually hide among a sea of fallacies. Fallacy. My God, what a missed opportunity. How old are you exactly? Well, as a man of the past, the present, and the future, that question is a mighty difficult one. Let's just do. Oh wait, what about some numbers and say I am however old you believe me to be. Why are you always so cryptic? You could just give me a straight answer. Because it is important to spread confusions, not eliminate it. Confusions, after all, is the only thing that makes people think. He gave a short, satisfied nod. What do your Golgotha visions look like? My visions, dearest Midori, are a potential of what may be there, of what exists in other realities, but is not yet discovered in our own. After all, we merely skim the topmost layer of existence, though on occasions a mind can look past it. They stare off into space for a long pause, collecting his thoughts before continuing. In the grand scheme of time, we have only just discovered the subatomic and the distant skies, and only because these things allow themselves to be discovered by our eyes. How many other things are invisible to all our sense, to the paltry workings of science? How many things exist beyond our clumsy self-important ideas of the metaphysical, ghosts and deities born enough to obsess over our tiny selves? How many things are out there that we just cannot comprehend? In the centuries to come, we'll look back on ourselves like we have, time and time again, and smile at our quaint ideas. Smile at the idea of religion like we now smile at little children. Smile at gravity like we now smile at those who taught the world flat. Smile at simple morality like we now smile at apes. Marcus let out a faint chuckle, but it sounded more wistful than mocking. My visions allow me to see these alternate futures laid upon our own, and it is always quite distressing. Good and evil weren't always what they are now, nor would they be the same in 100 years. Thus it seems folly to me, as a man for all ages, to chain myself to some moral rock of the century. We look back on the atrocity of earlier days and says, times were different then. But I desire to look from the future to the present, to see what we will one day consider primitive and backwards thinking. These outdated ideas will have carried past their lifetime.
And my imagination, it makes me realize how desperately alone.
What are all your own morals then? Quite simple. Do as one please, and do unto others as they have done unto you. Treasure and protect those who bring you delight, but love and hate carefully, for those passions lose their meaning when tossed forth without care. But there's one thing I will never ever abide: the abuse of innocence. Children and the childlike, and pets, who are children in their own ways. There's a difference between the strong ruling the weak and the strong abusing those who cannot defend themselves. That is not straying, for there's nothing noble about exercising power on the defenseless. Such abusers are simply weak themselves, perpetuating a cycle they too endure. But I believe they should be discarded to build a stronger society. He ended with a note of bitterness in his voice, staring at the carpet. Do you know vampire physiology works? Yes, the most lyric of questions that everybody's simply dying to know. Marcus let out a gentle sigh. We can replicate most of human biology without too much effort, but it's not a subconscious affair like breathing was as a model. Producing arousal usually requires concentration or mental attunement, the subject willing the blood to flow downwards. Blushing is also possible, in fact, but what kind of pathetically cute sea creature would choose to blush on purpose? It loses the entirety of its charm, so you almost never find a vampire who is so shamelessly pretentious. Though I suppose there are exceptions. About someone else. What do you think of Heat? Heat is a lost boy if I have ever seen one. A circular block that can't fit in a square slot. And a star child who doesn't understand our world. Alas, self-loathing is just another form of narcissism, perhaps even the worst severe form. Absorbed in self-pity, misery, your thoughts always focus on your own depressions. That's why his use of drugs is constant, though most of them aren't narcotics of the bloodstream, for drugs come in many forms. Televisions, movies, video games, food, sleep, celebrities, music. In my case, it's video games and music and food and maybe sleeping on the weekend. Man, I'm such a messed up person. But aren't we all like that? Most of us, to say the least, are like that. Everything we use to escape. What's your relationship with Randall? It's emerging from a cocoon, struggling to free himself. Some nights I don't know which holds more terrifying potential, Randall or his followers. Each one may be but a gentle lamb, full of kind intention and innocent desires for safety, for freedom. A person is intelligent and wise, but people so easily become a pack of animals. A hive mind, feeding off each other's fear and hatred for the enemy. That's all I can ever say. Your views on sharks. I've always had an unusual fondness for the Red Queen. She possessed both the kindest and the cruelest heart of any vampire in Hollywood. Her protective desires clash with visions of a utopia. Though she longs to fix the broken and wounded, all she knows how to do is destroy. I will always admire the beauty of her vulnerable soul. Something that happened recently. Okay, there's nothing. I think that's all for now. Very well. We'll see each other again soon, I'm sure. Leaving Marcus sharp and return to the dark streets. We could go to the beach house again. Or we can visit Heat. I'm going to the beach house. I had my driver take me to Santa Monica, deciding to stop by Randall's place. The usual group was chatting, laughing inside, although it seemed more crowded than last time. Over one side of the room, several vampires were clustered near Joaquina, who was wildly gesticulating with a pistol in her hand. I also noticed Randall off in another corner, surrounded by a small sea of marvel. And when our eyes met, he waved to me enthusiastically. Let's go to Joaquina. As I made my way towards Joaquina, I heard her husky chuckle voice rising over the room's chatter. And I know you all may not believe me, but I get them every time. Bang, bang! Joaquina shot those smokes right out of their mouths as they rode by on their horses. Oh lordy, their faces. And the group around her broke into the light of laughter as she beamed at them like a happy grandmother watching over her brood. Now it's been a long time since I've used this pistol, but I'm telling you, Oh, why, hello, Midori. She grinned at me when I walked up, wiggling her eyebrows. What perfect timing you've got. This sharpshooting lady was just about to show up her stuff. You see those ugly little troll dolls stacked over there? Well, I bet you $5 that I can hit that yellow hair one, blindfolded. You on, show me what you've got. Ooh, you're gonna be regretting that, Miro. You just watch me. We didn't have any blindfolds lying around, so somebody helpfully grabbed this towel and wrapped it around Aquina's head. Everybody watching silent as she raised the pistol, taking aim at the unfortunate troll doll. And missed. A soft collective sigh, "Aww," came from the marble around us. What? I didn't get it? Yanking the towel off her head, Aquina squinted at the dolls where her aim had landed a few inches to the left. "Oh hell, the sneaky little shit move, I swear." She spit at the ground with a huff, giving the floorboards a kick to insulted injury. "Well, a deal's a deal. Here you are, Charlie. It not be said, I don't keep my word." What a sigh. Aquina reached into her pocket and pulled out a small scrap of paper, stuffing it into my hand. $5 of your next order of 3 large pizza of power. It read, showing a large man's greasy face next to an enormous pepperoni pizza. Thanks, I think I'll keep it as a memento of you, Aquina. Well, isn't that just the sweetest thing? You keep that coupon safe, Midori. Alright, my darling. Now, which one of you, Scott? Make your old lady a drink. These stories aren't telling themselves, and my whistle needs some wetting. With that, the group dissolved back into laughter, and someone scurried up to the fridge to pour some blood into a glass. I left them to Aquina's storytelling, wondering if those poor troll dolls would end up surviving the night. Let's talk to Randall. As I approached Randall and his group, he murmured something quick to them. They slip out of the circle. Hey, Midori, couldn't stay away from us, huh? You having a rough time between this bitch tower, or is there just a bitch bump inside you dying to come out? A little column A and B, probably. I might be a lot of things, but the beach bum is not one of them. Whoa, we got a fancy mug over here too. Good for the beach? I'm just teasing you, kid. Not everyone likes sand and bits. He snicked softly, shaking his head. Something I can do for you then. Anything you want to ask me? How about yourself? Could you tell me about the mob? Well, we probably have some kind of deep, complicated history that I don't know jack shit about. We do get around though. Medieval fashions, secret societies, fighting rings, mafia gangs. A lot of what you have read about in textbooks probably had Marvel involved somewhere. He shrugged, his gaze briefly drifting around their living room. As society changed, so do we. So do all the vampires. The big difference between us and the rest is well beyond enhanced sense it's showing in shit that usually always part of a group. Lone Marvel, they're pretty rare. I couldn't really tell you why. Instinct. I guess I need to be part of something bigger. Sorry, kid. That's about all I got. How do you cope with being a vampire? Cope? You make it sound like it's a shitty life. Ever since I became a vampire, I have never looked back. Best thing that ever happened to me. So I don't cope. I try to enjoy every night. Do you think there's an ideal system for vampires? Yeah, where everybody rules themselves. Of course, you're gonna have shitty people doing shitty things, but if they step on someone's toes and there's no law against their liberal injustice, things work out. We're vampires. With all God ways to survive, somebody can't handle the night, that's not my problem. That is a pretty harsh outlook. But it could work. Hey, it works for animals. And we're just animals with bigger brains. Well, some of us have bigger brains. Just because there are more people capable doesn't mean it's a better society, just a bigger one. Randall shrugged, grimacing briefly. Why do you live on the beach? Isn't it sunny? It's not as bad as you think, actually. I mean, you're not gonna catch me getting a tan or anything. And I've got some good shades in my room. But like being near the ocean is big and it doesn't give a fuck. How can you get more inspiring than that? Nah, but more seriously. This place is far enough from Hollywood and downtown and that this crew don't really fuck with us. I want the clan to be able to hang out anywhere in the city, but hey, better to reign in hell than ruin heaven, right? Not that I call Hollywood heaven though, huh? How about someone else? What do you think of Marcus? I haven't known him that long, but I've always looked up to the guy. He just doesn't give a fuck. Well, I guess he sells fucks at his shop, but that's a different story. He has helped me out before too. Never really know why he does a lot of the shit he does, but I don't know. I just like having him around. Will he ever join the rebel side, you think? Hard for me to say. I'm still hoping he will. I keep working on it. The guys in my clan have mixed feelings about Marcus, so he gets a lot of shit from them sometimes. Probably why he hasn't joined us sooner. But I think they could warm up to him pretty quick. He just need to pull out that weird preacher charm on, hey, you and he. He's everything I hate, wrapped up in one baby-faced little package. Weak, can't think for himself, drools over his litter, does everything she asks. You know, these days I barely even see him as a person. He really hates Sarah that much. I hate what she stands for, the fact that she thinks her leadership is the only thing keeping Alice Coven from eating itself alive. It pisses me off that she acts like vampires have to be protected from themselves because she just doesn't understand that we're not human anymore. Queen bitch herself? No, I don't hate her. But as sure as fuck won't be going golfing with her anytime soon, you can count on that. Do you know Alusha? But that girl, yeah, she's pretty cool. We're not close to anything, but for a human, she actually kicks ass. About something that happened, about something else. It's just nothing else. That's all for now, I think. Okay. I'll ring you up soon if anything interesting happens these days. Seems like there's always some kind of excitement. Take care until then, Midori. What a gentle smile. Randall nodded at me once, then turned to rejoin the conversation he had left earlier. There's just nothing left. I think we're going back to the hotel then. Slipping out of the beach house, I made my way back across the sand. Oh, I can still go and visit Saturnalia? And I'm going to do just that. I had it for Saturnalia. Wonder if he would be around tonight. Inside, the bar was calm and fairly quiet, with only a few vampires lounging around. I glanced around for Heat, but I didn't spot him anywhere. Maybe he had stepped out for a while. Chat with the patrons. I began to roam around the bar and drift into conversation, mingling with the various vampire patrons. Tonight's crowd seemed to be mostly Golgotha, and they struck me with a mixture of interest and suspicion whenever I approached. I decided to casually speak up now and then, saying whatever came to mind. As I moved between groups, I often occasionally passing comments, not forcing conversation unless I had something to say. Their reactions to me were lukewarm, but I still received some curious glances and friendly remarks in return. And honestly, that sumo wrestler was amazing. It was like biting into mochi or pizza dough or something, so soft and squishy. That is disgusting, Paulson. You need professional help. As I drifted by the last group of Golgotha and the con, I heard them engage in a passionate argument. Hey you, with the blue hair. One of them suddenly raised her voice, snapping her fingers and pointing at me. You're gonna be the tiebreaker, okay? Quick, what is the best body type to feed from? I enjoy thin, light one. Not so much flesh to bite though, through. I think this is the first. Yes, see? I'll leave the choppy ones to you then. You goddamn Philistines. They start grumbling at each other again, apparently forgetting my assistant. And with that, I would more or less pass by every group that seemed interesting in tonight flock of patrons. And let's get out of here. There's just nothing left. I left the bar's quiet ambience, returning to the street. Time had passed quickly, and the night was almost over. Time to head back. It had been a fairly quiet night, at least in contrast to my earlier adventures. Though I had a feeling the reprieve wouldn't last. When I returned to the hotel, I expected Charis to be in the meeting room like before. Instead, the clerk at the front desk handed me a note when I walked in. Apparently, she was out of town again. I settled down on my bed and pulled the note out of its pristine envelope, scanning over it. Midori? I received a call from Miss Alicia earlier. Excellent work. Enclosed is a token of my gratitude, expressed in dead precedence. Don't spend it all in one place. I turned the envelope upside down and I found a bundle of bills. A shockingly large amount of money too. Your next task will be ready soon. Keep up the admirable performance, and one day you might end up as my right-hand woman. As a final word of warning, there has been another murder. The mutilation was identical to the body you found in the sewers. Except instead of an Iskar agent, the victim was a Golgotha. Be on your toes, Midori. We do not know where they will strike next. I look forward to our next meeting, Charis. Well, at least I hadn't immediately been thrown another errand, which meant I had some time to do as I pleased. Now those murders going around, and with that mysterious leader who wants to meet Midori, they could be connected to each other, so let's keep on reading. Maybe Randall would pay me a visit tomorrow, or else I could explore that invitation I had gotten from Zane. The more I thought about it, the more curiosity and caution pulled me in opposite directions. Meeting with the Golgotha later wasn't a bad idea in theory. He might have useful information. I just wasn't sure what to expect. Someone who lived in a graveyard had to have unique tastes, to say the least. With those last uncertain thoughts circling in my mind, I let sleep take me for another night. Ring, ring. My daily nap was cut short by the phone nearby. I lurched upright and reached out for the receiver, holding it to my ear. Hello? Hey, Midori, is that you? How did you get the quota to connect it? Well, I guess you could say my Marcus impression's gotten pretty good. Just have to tune into my inner Southern Baptist and it's a piece of cake. But they probably WhatsApp in Discord right now, so I'm not going to talk about all that graffiti you and me spread in the hotel last night, okay? Right on that, a sudden roar of laughter that nearly deafened me and probably scared the pants of any silent eavesdroppers. I know it rise and shine, kid. Sorry if I woke you up. How do you feel about coming to help me or something tonight? Good chance for you to get out of that prison hotel. Well, what did you have in mind exactly? That is a smart answer. Wouldn't want to come all the way out here just for me to hand you a ski mask and say we're robbing a bank. But don't worry, we only do that on Tuesdays. He cleared his throat noisily, as if he was trying to force down a chuckle. Truly, some vampire hunters have been sniffing around not far from the beach. They're different guys from that photo crew earlier, probably part of the group that's been harassing us for the past few weeks. His tone grew more serious and slightly longer, as it didn't pause separate his words. Normally they're not a problem, but they're getting smarter, hunting us down individually instead of a group, getting better rifles and equipment. We have had some injuries and some losses. Randall briefly went silent. When he spoke again, his voice had regained its firm confidence. So tonight we need to scare them out as good as we can, make sure they won't pose a problem for us anymore. Good opportunity for you to see with your own eyes what we're up against, and Queen Bitch shouldn't mind since hunters are out to get ogres. Alright, I'm ready. What should I meet you? Damn, with that kind of attitude, you deserve a promotion. I should write you a recommendation later for Charisse. Randall let out a gratefully chuckle that rasped into my ear. Alright, meet me on the beach as soon as you can. Oh, and Midori, maybe don't wear your nice shoe. You never know how things will end up. After we said our goodbyes, I quickly threw on my clothes and hurried outside, wondering just what to expect. I was finally going to get to see these hunters he had mentioned a while back. I wonder if they were anything like the vampire hunters I had seen in movies. A short taxi ride later, I arrived at the Santa Monica beach. As I plodded through the sand to Randall's beach house, I noticed a small group gathered outside. There was no mistaking that eye-catching figure in the adoring crowd around him. There you are, newbie. Glad you decided to turn up. When I wandered up to Randall's side, he reached out to squeeze my shoulder, letting his large palm press there for a few moments. Hey, Midori. Oh man, Randall, dude. You wanna tell us if we could bring a date? The other man would playfully call out, apparently in high spirits. They all look like they are filled with pistols, some with knives. Maybe they prefer hand-to-hand combat. Date? Who said anything about dates? Midori is one of us, you guys know that. She could use a little practice defending territory with a group. I don't like fighting, but I want to keep everyone safe. Sure, nothing wrong with that. We have to look out for each other. I cursed the mummies and grousing up, grim and rang out in response to Randall's comment. I noticed a few skeptical glances thrown my way afterwards, but nobody spoke up. Alright, listen up. Our scouts earlier said they saw the hunters back in the city not too far from the pier. We should be fine as long as nobody gets caught out, but those fuckers seem to know exactly when we're gonna show up. And a bullet to the heart isn't something you can't just laugh off. When Randall addressed us with more serious, intense gaze, the group really grew quiet. I could see a number of them shifting from foot to foot, fingers clenching into fists. We're gonna split up to try and flank them. You guys will go on ahead and let the hunters trail you through the streets, while me and Midori follow from behind. His voice was low but so confident and determined that no one was even bat an eye when he mentioned me as his partner of choice. If everything goes according to plan, we'll trap them in an alley, and deal with them there. No innocent witness will get in the way. We've got to put an end to this shit tonight. So for all your clanmates' sakes, don't do anything stupid. Everyone got it? Yeah, let's go. Get them, come on, let's get them. Hell yeah. What are we waiting for? As the group quickly walked back into eager, loud favor, rusting with excitement to turn the hunters into prey, Rhino glanced at me, his brow knitting slightly. You ready for this, newbie? I called you down because I knew you could handle it. I like to believe people are a lot stronger than they think they are. I'm a little nervous, but I trust you. Yeah, well, I hope you trust yourself too. If you don't, then you better learn it soon. Alright, everyone. Let's show those cocksuckers that you don't fuck with Marvel. And with a last rallying cry, we left the beach for the Santa Monica streets. Rhino and I stayed behind, letting the rest of the group go ahead to track their scents afterwards. After a few minutes had passed, we began to cautiously follow them. At Rhino's request, I kept a careful watch for anyone on the street who looked suspicious. Of course, considering all the unusual types out at 1 AM, In Santa Monica, it wasn't a particularly easy task. When we rounded a corner, Randall suddenly tensed beside me, his eyes narrowing into slits. Curious, I followed his gaze to the other side of the street. While quite oddly, the dressed group was briskly walking along. Whispering my ears, I thought I could hear the sound of men rattling, the clicking of guns and knives. There they are. Keep walking, don't lose sight of them. He muttered softly, his eyes full of sharp focus like a wild animal wary of an attack. They're probably following the others. Yeah, they're moving fast, not just loafing around. I caught him a word in his low whispers. We trailed the hunters along the road, keeping enough a distance to not attract their attention. Luckily, the streets were still thick with people wandering around, so we weren't entirely alone. If everything was going according to plan, Randall's clanmates were leading us to a good ambush spot. Just then, one of the hunters glanced over his shoulder, straight at Randall and me. Without warning, Randall suddenly reached out to grab my hand. His bandaged palm pressed against mine, and he wrapped his large, colorless fingers around my own. Hold on silently. I said nothing but avoid the hunter's piercing gaze as best as I could. What Randall was doing seemed obvious, but hopefully it wasn't too transparent of an act. For a tense few moments, the hunter's eyes seemed to stare right through us. He had to have guessed. We definitely looked suspicious, especially since Randall didn't exactly blend into his surroundings. But finally, after what felt like forever, the hunter's gaze shifted to someone else on the street. The group kept walking instead of turning around to blow our brains out, which was probably a good sign. Oof. Randall had a long, relieved exhale by my side. Rather than releasing my hand though, he kept his grip tight, pulling me along a little faster. Are you going to let go of my hand now? Oh yeah, sorry. What a faint snicker. Randall released my hand, though his eyes stayed fixed on the hunter's back. Hurrying down the street, we followed the hunters into a wide alley. Was this the ambush point? I didn't catch a scent of Randall's climbers down the road, so they must have turned off somewhere. Maybe the mother took a shortcut, or else the hunter had lost them. When we were halfway down the alley, the human group disappeared around the corner. The next second, Randall stopped dead in his tracks. Fuck. I got a real bad feeling all of a sudden. He paused, closing his eyes. It seems like he was visibly straining his sense, as if to smell or hear or detect something in the distance. I can hear something. Maybe we should turn back. Shit, Midori, come here. Without warning, Randall grabbed me by the waist, pulling me into a tiny opening off the alley. Say nothing. Without struggling, I let Randall tuck me around the corner. Quiet. His arm squeezed around me, pulling me closely against his chest. A few moments later. Down this way, quick! They follow us, I know it. I saw them come this way. Light footsteps quickly approached us from around the corner, along with hushed voice. I could smell humans, the hunters. They were getting closer. Our hiding spot could barely fit one person, let alone two. But Randall clutched me tightly enough that we managed to squeeze in. He didn't breathe, and I heard no heartbeat in his chest, but every muscle in his body felt tense to his limit. Damn it, I know they were just here. What the fuck are they then? On the rooftops? No, they must be hiding. Their footsteps grew closer, slow and cautious. I could tell how many there were, but it sounded like more than two were heading for us. Silently, Randall reached for the back of his belt. He pulled out a knife, the same knife I had returned to him during our first meeting. His fingers grasped my wrist, and he nudged the knife's handle against my palm as if coaxing me to take it. Took the knife. He was offering me his beloved knife to protect myself. I could just refuse it, so I tucked it inside my own belt. If someone came around the corner, we could lash out together and make an escape. And Rhino was a marva, so he probably preferred fighting with his fist. Hey, over here. Outside our hiding spot, a voice hissed out. Less than 10 feet away. Footsteps getting closer. The sound of humans of anger right beside us. Wait, they went down over here. The garage, quick. As a cry echoed through the alley, time seemed to grind to a standstill. Neither nor I moved a single muscle. I could still sense the hunter beside us, listening, hesitating. Ah, shit. I'm coming. Until finally the footsteps turned, dashing off into the alley. What am I saying? I stayed silent, waiting for them to disappear. There was a distant crash, a metal scraping sound, and then nothing. Damn it. Those dumbasses didn't stick to the plan. Rhino let out an abrupt hiss, releasing me from his grip and darting around the corner. I followed him quickly, not wanting to be left behind with hunters prowling around. It sounds like they went into the garage instead, so we're gonna have to go down too. Wait, what if it's a trap? We're just gonna have to be extra fucking careful. We don't leave each other behind. He paused, staring into space at something I couldn't see, but only for a split second. The next moment, Randall turned and bolted for the nearby parking garage. As I followed him closely, I heard the distant sound of shouting and gunfire echoing somewhere deep inside. 1 level, 2, 3. The voice grew louder. But by the time we arrived, the fight was already over. Empty shots and bloodstains were scattered on the concrete, forming a picture of what had happened just minutes ago. No one seems to be seriously hurt, save for a few small injuries that were mending fast. Only one mother was slumped against the wall, gunshot wounds open like potholes in her body. But they seemed to be slowly healing, and judging from her groans, she was still alive. As for the hunters, a few of them lay motionless on the ground, face down. Judging from the shrieking in the distance, the rest had fled or were being chased off. But one hunter was alive, struggling under the boot of a familiar vampire. Just let me go, please. Don't give it all up, I promise. I'll never come near you again. He panted heavily, his fingers scrabbling against the concrete floor as Jack kept him pinned down. No, he's a lying piece of shit. The wounded Marva against the wall suddenly screamed out, pointing an accusing finger at the hunter. Every time we fucking play catch and release, they always come back to kill us. Fuck, I've lost friends to these fucking worthless bloodbags. I don't care if they're humans, they should all just die. Midori. Rhino suddenly turned to me. The look in his eyes was intensely serious, and yet somehow also strangely detached. You saw what happened and heard what he said. I want you to tell me something. What do you think he deserves? Turn him? Really? I'm going to save the game right here, because I'm not so sure myself. This is a peaceful solution. Letting him go is not an option. Killing him is rather aggressive, I think. No! We let out a panic scream that echoed off the concrete walls around us. No, anything but that, please just kill me. Don't turn me, don't make me into one of you. Everyone's gaze turned expectantly to Grendel. After studying my face for a long moment, he nodded. Someone needs to step up to the plate. I'll do it. The angel Mava girl answered without hesitation, hissing through her teeth. She rose unsteadily to her feet and stumbled towards the screaming hunter, who seemed to grow increasingly frantic as she neared him. I saw Jack's eyes shift nervously, and when our gaze briefly met, I could read the clear discomfort on his face. But he kept his boot firmly planted on the hunter's back, keeping him trapped as the Mavaka crouched down beside him. No, no, please. No! The hunter's hysterical pleas were met with only silent stares. Ah! The next moment the ghost pain sunk deep into his neck. His agonizing cry slowly faded into a pitiful whimper before finally he went completely quiet. It reminded me, in not a so distant way, of my own turning. I watched as the mother sliced open her wrist with a pocket knife, shoving it against the hunter's lips and forcing her blood onto his tongue. For a few moments the garage was deadly silent. It was like we were attending an execution, a funeral, and a forced baptism. No one dared to interrupt. And then, groaning, the hunter slowly caught up into the fatal position. His body trembled and shuddered, racked with what looked like sobs through his tears wouldn't flow for much longer. Jack stepped back, shoving his hand in his pockets and turning away. The spell over, everyone else seemed to break too, and they started murmuring and shifting around again. Get him on his feet already. Yeah, we should leave before they bring any bleak up. And Marva looked anxious to disperse, and some quickly helped the wounded girl up. She spat on the hunter's shivering body. You made an interesting choice, Midori. Randall murmured beside me, still studying the newly turned vampire. Maybe the cruelest one I can think of. His words sound too mild to be accusing. I wonder if he had become desensitized. Did this happen often? He will serve as an example of the rest. He deserves to know the suffering we go through. In Maya, I think they're more afraid of becoming old than worse than dying. And I almost can't blame them. With those last words, Randall left my side to check on the others, making sure no one else in the group was still hurt. Together, we all left the garage, funneling back outside. The somber mood finally started to lift a little, with jokes flitting around here and there, but everyone still seemed slightly shaky. Why don't we reach the alley? Randall told me the others to go on ahead, saying he wanted to speak with me privately for a moment. Before long, it was just the two of us standing on the empty, silent asphalt. Midori. After hesitating briefly, Randall reached out a hand, placing his bandaged palm on my shoulder with a tight squeeze. I hope you're not too mad at me for asking you to come. I knew things could get rough and I thought it would be a good experience for you, but maybe it went too far. He offered me a faint, apologetic smile, shaking his head. All the hunters we have dealt with in the past never gave us much of a problem. Usually just morons from some half-person cult with shotguns, thinking they're the modern-day Knights Templar. But these guys, it seems like they knew exactly where to find us, and right now, that's the last fucking thing I need. This whole situation only gonna get worse until the infighting stops, so maybe tonight help toughen you up for the future. It was a hard lesson, but I think I needed it. Glad you feel that way at least. Better you see things as they are now rather than later, when they will be even uglier. Randall let his gaze fall to the ground, dragged down by some brooding thought. But soon he heaved a huge sigh, glancing back to me with a smile, weakly tugging at his lips. His hand lifted from my shoulder to gently ruffle my hair, and a trace of the usual sparkle returned to his eyes. Well, listen, don't let it get you down too much. None of our guys were lost tonight anyway. And hey, we made a close escape with that hiding place. Just like something out of a movie, huh? It was pretty neat. It was pretty neat, I admit. You were a good co-star. Aw, thanks, kid. I made sure to mention you in my Oscar speech. He pointed double-finger guns at me, clicking his tongue with a cheery wink. Alright, I'm gonna get out of here before any more hunters come. And you should head back somewhere safe too. But I hope I catch you soon, Midori. Real soon. You know where to find me. Oh, I should do. Go on now, don't talk to any strangers on the way home. We parted like usual, although a certain weight still hung in the air as I left. As I grabbed a taxi to ride back to the hotel, the tensions and energy of the night slowly dissipate, leaving me exhausted. I didn't fully understand how my new body worked, but it seemed to get drained just like human did. Maybe because human blood ran through my veins. I caught up that night with images of Brandon in the garage still drifting through my head. And the look in that hunter's eyes. I wonder if I had made the right choice. Well, I saved the game so we can go back to that moment anytime we want. The next night, there was no sign of a message from Charles. Nothing from Randall either. For once, I had a completely free night. Still, despite my immortal lifespan, I felt like I probably shouldn't laze around bed or watch the entire VHS collection of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air that, for some reason, was stuck into my TV cabinet. Instead, something much stronger was tempting me. A meeting with the Golgotha leader. I felt a strange, insistent pull towards him, towards the cemetery. It was like an unseen will tangling with my own. My gut feeling told me I'd be safe. If he really wanted to kill or capture me, I had already given him plenty of chances. But before I went to meet him, I needed to feed again. Venturing somewhere potentially dangerous without fresh blood seemed like a bad idea. Just a few seconds after I knocked on David's door. Hello, mistress. I'm ready. He almost threw himself into my arms, as if he'd been waiting for this moment all his life. I pulled him close, sinking my face into his warm, exposed neck. He whimpered and squirmed in delight. I could feel his rapid heartbeat pounding in a delirious rhythm. The more I drank, the more he relaxed in my arms until I was supporting his full body weight. When I finally had my fill, I let David go back to his room and he stumbled in half-conscious bliss. I mean, we have our human blood back here with us, so we should be good to go, right? Well, anyway guys, I think I will stop recording right now. We'll come back next time.